Hello guys, today I wanted to take some time to talk about Nightfall the Ordeal and explain how to get the most out of it. Nightfall the Ordeal is the new Nightfall curated experience as of Season of the Undying, and it serves a very important purpose. Actually, it has a few important purposes, all of which are tied quite closely to what's considered the endgame of Destiny 2. If you've gotten a chance to sink your teeth into the new mode, you'll know as you increase the difficulty of the weekly Nightfall by selecting higher tiers, your potential rewards also increase, both in value and in rarity. And one of the best improvements to the Nightfall is that those rewards are farmable. Each reward listed on the difficulty menu has a chance to drop regardless of the amount of runs you've already done, and regardless of whether or not you've already gotten the powerful reward. This gives you the ability to farm for high-end materials like enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and ascendant shards, which are all used to upgrade the final few energy slots on your armor. You can't masterwork a single piece of Armor 2.0 without these materials, making Nightfall the Ordeal extremely useful once you get your base power up to 950 without the artifact. Hitting that 950 mark means you're ready to start building up your character by grinding for stats that you want and mods that you want to use. And this also includes exotics. Just like the other materials I mentioned earlier, exotics can also be farmed in Nightfall the Ordeal. They won't drop as a powerful reward like exotics that drop in the wild, unless of course you get an exotic from the weekly Nightfall challenge, but rather these exotics are going to roll with random stats that should generally be higher than the ones found within your collections. They also have a chance to roll with a random elemental affinity, meaning you can put different mods on them that you wouldn't be able to put on their collection versions. So Nightfall the Ordeal provides rare endgame materials that's going to allow you to masterwork your armor, it provides randomly rolled exotics to chase, and it can also drop enhanced mods, which is not listed under the rewards in-game for some reason. I've gotten about 5 or 6 of these enhanced mods on hero difficulty alone, so they can drop in the match-made versions as well. However, this new Nightfall also works differently than you might be used to, and it's not very well explained in-game, so here's how the reward system for Nightfall the Ordeal works. The rewards that come specifically from Nightfall the Ordeal, as in the rewards that don't pop out of the final chest, appear to be tied to your overall performance. And this doesn't seem to be linked to score like it was in the past. This is actually based around the champions. The champion enemies, the barriers, overloads, and unstoppables, aren't just scattered throughout the activity to be annoying or to make it harder for no reason. They certainly do make it tougher, but the more of them you defeat, the better your performance. You can see your performance rating at the end of the mission after killing the final boss. You'll get a pop-up at the bottom of your screen that looks like a triumph, and it's going to say how you did throughout the strike. Either you defeated very few champions and got a bronze, you defeated a moderate amount of champions and got a silver, you defeated a considerable number of champions and got a gold, or you defeated all of the champions and got a platinum, which is the highest rating you can earn in Nightfall the Ordeal. This rating, or medal, whatever you want to call it, isn't tied to time either. Your performance isn't hurt by taking your time or completing the Nightfall with 0 score. It's all about defeating the champions. Now, the better your performance, the better chance you have at getting the rewards listed for each difficulty tier. Getting platinum by defeating all of the champions in the Nightfall is going to reward you pretty often. I was getting exotic drops and enhancement prisms left and right. However, these Ordeal rewards, the ones listed in-game, aren't exclusive to the platinum rating. You still have a chance at getting them at lower ratings like gold and possibly below, but the better your rating, the better your chances. This means that whenever you're going into Nightfall the Ordeal, you should check the modifiers and actually prepare your loadout for defeating these champions, instead of just running right past them, since skipping them and trying to speedrun the mission is only going to hurt your team's chances at getting any sort of substantial rewards, since they are again based off performance and don't drop from the final chest. That said, the final chest, which for some reason is always rare gear instead of legendary, can in fact still drop the Nightfall specific loot from year 1. It doesn't seem to be connected to the performance rating stuff, so I don't think you have to get platinum or anything. Just running the Ordeal version of the strike will get you a chance to get any of those old items. You can check the description for a link to the full list of those if you're a new player. Obviously, the whole performance rating system thing isn't applied to the Adept difficulty, as there aren't any champions during a 750 Nightfall, so the rewards from Adept are more than likely 100% random. Now, the thing I don't know for sure is if enhanced mods are also tied to this performance rating system. They could very well be, since it does drop alongside the other Ordeal rewards listed in the game. So if that is the case, then it's even more of a reason to go for Platinum in Hero and above. The weekly 100,000 score challenge for a pinnacle gear drop is best saved for once you're at 950 power, and I personally wouldn't even attempt a 100k Nightfall run until you're within 5, maybe 10, but that's pushing it, levels of a 950 power. While you can reach 100,000 score on Hero with a highly coordinated team, it's going to be far easier to run Legend difficulty and get that 100k, so long as you're killing pretty much everything in the entire strike. I've been consistently reaching 100k score on Legend, so it's definitely the easiest one to get that pinnacle gear on in my opinion. Of course, the 100,000 score is going to be met naturally when you're running Master difficulty, but for most people Master difficulty is a little too high of a jump right now to even justify running. So which Nightfall should you be farming? Well, that's a pretty easy question to answer because it all depends on what materials you need. I've been running Legend Nightfalls at my current power of 963, and it's definitely the easiest way to get exotics and enhancement prisms at this point in time because Master difficulty is just such a giant leap in enemy power, and it takes like a good half hour to 40 minutes depending on the strike if you plan on getting Platinum. So unless you absolutely need those Ascendant shards right now, I would recommend farming Legend. Also, I could be wrong on this, but looking at the rarity of exotics in both Legend and Master difficulties, they both say exotics are common drops. That to me says both Legend and Master have the same drop rate for exotics, so if that's true, that's even more reason to stick to running Legend and not punishing yourself too hard. The downside is it does not have matchmaking, which is a bit of a bummer, so you will need to create your own fire team before heading in. And one final thing I wanted to bring up is if you plan on completing this season's Undying title, you will need to complete a Master difficulty run of Nightfall the Ordeal because it unlocks a triumph that rewards the Spear of the FORE legendary ship. It says it's earned from a triumph called Beacon on the Black, although for me the triumph's just called Master underneath the Nightfall Ordeal tab, and the ship it drops is a required piece within the season of the Undying Collections badge, so you're going to want to make sure to get at least one run of the Master Nightfall done before this season ends on December 10th. It doesn't even have to be a Platinum run or a high score run, it just has to be a completion. That's all the info I've got on Nightfall the Ordeal. I think it's a great activity, and I love that it encourages farming it for rewards. I really wish you could farm more activities like raids for more drops, or at least run a hard version of it for extra materials or something. Having that incentive to do multiple runs is always very nice. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.